Okay, awesome. We're gonna get going here. Okay. Thank you so much for joining, you guys. This is It's Not Tarot, and I'm Ana Cortez. And no, it's not tarot. In fact, it's not any kind of oracle or card reading with playing cards you've ever seen before. Unless, of course, you're talking about the playing card oracles. It's the code encoded into playing cards, finally decoded, just in time for the future. Today is June 17th, 2021, and this is the very baby 6th episode of It's Not Tarot. And the format of this show is that we start off with a theme or topic. We look at chat from you guys and interact here on YouTube and on Zoom. And then we complete our time together with live readings, getting advice from the oracles for you and giving you the opportunity to see these amazing cards in action. So make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click the bell for notifications so you get notified when the live stream begins. And if you want all the information about these live streams, go to anacortez.com/live, where you can find out how to ask your personal questions live on the show. So right now we're doing this every Thursday at noon Mountain Standard Time or Mountain Time. So I really appreciate you guys joining, and I'm so enjoying this format. I got my tea going here. You know, I invite you guys to brew up some tea or coffee or whatever you like to drink and just relax into this show. And yeah, and feel free to use the chat. I love conversation with you guys. And if you want to ask your question live of the oracles, I am asking that you join the Zoom call. And instructions for how to jump in on that are over at anacortez.com/live. So I think it would be good to just explain the name of the show a little bit, or talk about why I named it It's Not Tarot. There's actually a number of reasons, but you know, whenever I'm talking to somebody about what I do or about these cards, and I'm sharing with people, inevitably, even though I've already said this is playing cards, it's all original, blah, 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 it's 52 cards, then people always ask me, oh, is it tarot? And even though I feel like I've already explained myself, people still ask that. I think tarot in a lot of people's minds is just sort of synonymous with card reading. And unless it's like oracle type cards, and even though these are called the playing card oracles, it's very different than what people think of as oracle decks. And so I always have to explain again, no, it's not tarot. And even some of the people that I've known for years and who I talk about with cards with, will still call it tarot. And yeah, a lot of people just, it's hard to, I don't know what the word is, kind of switch your mind into a different gear and jump into a niche that really has no other system in it. So I'm always trying to sort of carve out this niche that doesn't exist anywhere else, and get people to understand that it's a new way of approaching regular playing cards. So no, it's not tarot. In case you were wondering, it's not based on tarot. It's not like tarot. It's card reading like tarot is, but it has nothing to do with the tarot deck. It's not your mother's playing cards. L-E. Thank you for saying that. Oh, thanks, Lenatico, for joining. She says it's very late where she is, but she's so grateful to join the live show. Oh, thanks for staying up and making the time. And haha, it's not your mother's playing cards. I love that. You know, I've often thought that very phrase, it's not your mama's card reading. No, it's not. Although it might be more similar to your grandma's way of card reading. A lot of people write and say how their grandma read with playing cards, and they have no idea how she did it, but they found the playing card oracle system and they're studying that, and that feels really right to them. So I'm just so grateful for all the diversity of the background of people that join and what draws them to playing cards as a way of divining the future or the present or the past. So I want to update you guys before we get into our theme today. I want to update you guys on things that are happening. There's a new trading card pack, of course. If you're on the email list, you just got an email regarding this, but these are so super fun. Check these little guys out. Hold on, I'm going to switch over to a different view here. Okay. Check these little guys out. They're so cute. And there's all this fun information on here. And it's a way of beginning to collect the cards in the brand new picture book of Fate and Fortune of CJ Freeman's. That is a very rare deck right now, and it really called me to that it needed to be out in the world, that people wanted it. And it's so unique from the other CJ Freeman decks. This is trading pack, again, number 6. And the backs of the cards have these little sprites on them from the 10 of hearts, or 10 of clubs, excuse me. And the different trading packs have different portions of her body, so you can kind of piece them together like a puzzle. And there's a poem on here. This is the backs of the cards. And there's a sticker in each pack. And then the card backs that look like that. These are secret information cards. So it's just like a pack of fun. And not only is it a great way to collect this rare CJ Freeman deck, it's also a really fun gift for people. You know, it's a great way to introduce people to the idea of playing cards for divination. It sort of exposes some of the mystical secrets that lead one into sort of a forest of possibility, you know. Nan, thanks for your comment. Oh, Lenatico, it's very clean on the eyes. I love it. Yeah, thank you. I have the same feeling about it. It's got its own vibe, which has got this real sweetness to it that I really like. So that was trading card pack number 6. This is trading card pack number 5. I'll give you guys a spoiler, or maybe I shouldn't. Maybe, well, there's pictures on the in the store already spoiling it, so I'll just continue to spoil. This is trading card pack number 5. You get the 7 of diamonds, the ace of clubs, the 3 of hearts, and Lady Tureen. Every trading card pack has 1 court card in it, except for the 13th trading pack, which will have more than 1. And this is trading card pack number 7 with Livia, Queen of Diamonds, Sword of Enchantment, 7 of Clubs, the Lovers, 2 of Hearts, 4 of Spades. Again, that's trading card pack number 7. All of them come with stickers, secret information, etc., etc. So it was super fun putting those together. I really hope you guys enjoy them. They're starting to fly off the shelf already, which is great to see. In other news, there's a new t-shirt over at the anacortez.com store that you should check out. It's a tank top. It looks great on guys or girls. And the June 2021 forecast. The Oracle Speak is making a rare appearance now at the website. There hasn't been an Oracle Speak for a really long time, like a year. The last one was June of 2020. And this one came about in a really different way. It's a whole new way of doing forecasts for me. It was sort of given to me or messaged to me, and I'm just following the spirit directive on this and having like just really enjoying a new process that I'm excited to explore. Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Lauren. So let's see. What else is on here? Do you like me calling you Lauren, or would you like Andy, or tell me what you like prefer to go by, Ellie? Because I don't want to, I want to call you what you want to be called. So, or do you just want to be called Ellie? I'm happy to do whatever you like. Okay, then we've got the next Oracle Tide coming up on the next new moon. That is something, if you're following the system, you definitely want to follow along with or join in if the time works out for your time zone. It's a really great meeting where we go in depth into our Oracle skills. And you can see the replays of most of those meetings on YouTube as well. And then, of course, we've got this show, It's Not Tarot, which is now every Thursday at noon Mountain Standard Time. Andy, all right, that's the name I'm going to use. Great. Thank you for helping me out with that. So Andy is a student who's been with me a very long time. She's a very accomplished reader. And I love that she's here still after all these years, supporting this work, following this work, going deeper. She's just feels really supportive when I see you on these live casts, Andy. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And okay, now diving into our topic, which is the importance of everyday mundane questions in card reading or cartomancy or divination. You know, I feel like there's these two camps, right? Where you can ask very everyday questions about concerns that involve your physical life, whether it's romance or job or health or these kind of things. And then there's this other camp where we're talking about spiritual life, things that pertain to sort of the higher self or the spiritual path, things like that. And, you know, I think that the playing card oracles or playing cards, if you delve into the real possibilities there, are perfect for either one. They can be used and they can be interpreted in either of those two ways. And what I find is those don't need to be separate from each other. That one is really important to the other, and that we basically really need to clean up our physical life and all the areas of being here on this earth, like relationships, like job, like money matters, like health, all that stuff. We need to get to a place where we're not so distracted by those things that we can sort of focus more on the spiritual life. So these questions are super important. And I think of them, we'll call them mundane questions. I think of these mundane questions as doorways into deeper aspects of ourselves and sort of interpretations within our life of things that are trying to come through to us spiritually, if that makes sense, right? So, and I think we're always walking that line between being a spiritual being in a physical world. And we have both of those aspects, always simultaneously going on. And certainly as card readers, we have a strong connection to the non-physical worlds, and so both of those areas are really important. But I guess what I'm saying is, I don't feel like it's a good idea to ignore physical issues in favor of more spiritual concerns, because one depends on the other. So I need a drink of tea after all of that. Before we go into more on that topic, don't you love this cup? I love this cup. This teacup is an old friend of mine. And I have had this cup and I have been drinking out of this cup and having it as my companion during the writing of all of this work on the oracles since I was working on the playing card oracles at the very, very beginning. I bought this in the coffee shop where I wrote the playing card oracles, or the bulk of it, and where my very first notebooks and explorations into the mysteries of the cards were written. And I looked at this cup on the shelf in that coffee shop for months, admiring it, and no one bought it. It just kept sitting there. So I finally bought it. I love the symbolism of the three women on here. I collect art that has women in threes. I think it's so just beautiful. And the red apple and the black horse, I knew you guys would appreciate this. Oh, and then check this out. 2 more red apples. So we have a total of 3 red apples and another white horse. Wow. I'm not sure I really picked this apart sufficiently before. A white horse and a black horse. Wow. So anyway, I can't believe this cup hasn't been broken or lost over all these years, having raised kids and so forth. Anyway, so fun to just have conversation with you guys and share. I love this opportunity to do that. Maybe I should make playing card mugs. Well, I have considered it. I have dabbled in that, but they never turn out the way that I want them to. I think the printing technology for mugs for creators is not what I want it to be, or not what I envision for my mugs yet at this point, or not what I've seen. So that's why I've made some samples for myself, and I've never been happy enough with them to present them. But it's something that could be readdressed. It's been a long time since I've done that. And Nan says, great point. Balance is something I'm learning more and more. Yes. Was mentioned you, so gorgeous, was meant for you. Oh, Oh, thanks, Nan. You're so sweet. Really nice. I did curl my hair today for you guys, so thanks for noticing. And I have to go out to lunch after this. I'm going out to lunch with my friend who is a witch from northern Spain. She's relocated here to the US. She has this beautiful Spanish accent. And she made a major contribution to the new book that's coming out. Oh, Freeman, nice to see you here, sweetheart. I'm so glad you're here. Thanks for coming. Freeman's my son, Freeman LaFleur. He's so supportive and so sweet. And so I'm thinking she would be really fun to have on this It's Not Tarot show, don't you think, you guys? And we could have some conversation about what goes on with witches in northern Spain. And, you know, we'll talk about her contribution to the book later when it's possible to disclose more. But my friend Tree is a wonderful person, and I'm so lucky that she lives here in Santa Fe and that we can spend time in the physical together. So, so that's that. Let's go back to our theme. So I want to read to you guys something that has to do with our theme. Yes, everybody's into that. Cool. Excellent. You know, there's such a time delay between what I'm saying and the time that it broadcasts on YouTube, and then you guys respond in the questions. So sorry if you're noticing that lag, but I'm usually getting your comment right as it comes in on my screen. So regarding this topic of the importance of mundane questions in card reading, right? Because we need to clean up our physical lives. They really can be such a mess. And it's so easy for me to want to sort of escape into the spiritual realms, because I just find them so magnetic and so soothing and calming. And I think there's importance in that, and that time definitely can be a transformative factor for my everyday physical life, but not in a way that we're escaping, right? So I think this last part of Oracle Alchemy so speaks to this topic, and I really am proud of this book, and so many copies have been flying out of my mailbox here in Santa Fe to you guys. I'm so glad you guys are picking up this book. It's a really important book for card reading. And there's a little section at the end that addresses this topic we're talking about, and I want to read it to you. Let's see. I'm gonna find where it starts. In closing. Okay, I'm gonna start sort of midway here. And so, okay, we'll go back even one more paragraph. Okay, to me, there is a freedom in cards. They are not something precious from a traditional point of view. They are precious like a flower is precious. They are fleeting, born to crumble in the wind. Their true value always only will be their ability to point me back to myself. The glyphs and pictures symbolize what is inside of me, and through their use, I learn to manage these very powerful, otherwise hidden forces. And so, as humble card readers, let our mastery remain within the invisible realms, our treasure sublime, We will be true magicians. Let us not focus on distractions, on feats of psychic ability, nor predictions of future events. For as a focus, these are ego-driven. Let us be of the greatest service possible, and let this be determined by the all-seeing intelligence of beneficent spirit beyond the mortal scope. Let us never forget, the more powerful one becomes, the more delicious one is to the ego. As mentioned before, the risks and temptations do not lessen progressing in this work. They increase. So let us be steadfast, forever aware of where true glory is found. And finally, perhaps most ironically, let our work be for the small things. For the small is what is under our feet at this moment. It is the one place where transformation can actually take place. So let what we do be ultimately practical, helping us to be better in each here and now, better mothers, fathers, sisters, and brothers. For what beauty is in the starry sky if we lay tossing and turning beneath it? So let us lift from the lowest level. And from this place of firm footing upon the small, let our practice lead us into greater communion with something very expansive within ourselves, that we may find the true meaning of joy here on earth. Amen. And here we have a picture of Terene. And I'm sure you recognize her. She's from the new deck, the trading card pack number 5, actually. Yeah, first time she's been offered in a card since this was created in like 1999. And then the caption under her is Terene, servant of things small, ultimately anchored to the here and now moment through her suit of earth, right? Spades. And meek, as symbolized by her position on the ground. This goddess is not of high ranking like the queen of her suit, right? She's just a 10. And yet this affords her the humility that gives this card its power. It is a beautiful reference point for us all. So isn't that lovely? I'm just so proud of this book. I think it has so much wonderful food for thought for us as readers. And this is why I think that mundane, ordinary, everyday life questions are so important in card reading, but questions that matter. And it's one thing to practice with questions that aren't really important to you or just, don't really touch your core, but you don't invoke the spirit behind the cards when you do that, I find. The spirit helpers aren't that interested in things that you're not that interested in. So practicing that way can be a slow road to getting to know your cards, if you know what I mean. Right? Oh, thanks, Nan. And thanks, Andy, for your comments. Oh, thanks so much. And Lady Deanne. Oh, so nice. Lady Deanne's joining us. Very well said. In the end, small is all and connects us one to the other. Exactly. being really present and finding what's appropriate to be of service to others and to oneself in that moment. So, yeah, okay. And what were we talking about? Oh, asking questions that matter, right? So I find, tell me if you guys feel this is true, and I find this, this tendency in myself as well, and I think it's something we really have to watch out for if we want to move along in the spiritual path, and that is sort of ignoring these growing, blaring issues that really need to be addressed within our lives in favor of the spiritual life, and I think that these two things are really, again, really important, and it's very tough to actually progress spiritually when you've got all these other heavy issues weighing you down. And the cards are perfect for clearing those things up. They really are. And the cards, these cards, I can only speak for the playing card oracles, really offer perspectives that are so potentially transformative. So, and you don't want to overuse the cards for really personal questions either, right? So the way I look at it is, if I have a really nagging issue in my life, I'll wait for the appropriate time. It'll be like on a important celestial event, like a full moon or a new moon, or when that issue is super up and I can make time for myself without distractions and enter into a more meditative space with my cards. And then I'll draw that spread, and I won't ask that question again. I will keep that spread as my compass. I will use that spread, even if I don't understand it. I trust that it will come to light for me. And then the cards become super powerful because you've got the attention of your spirit guides. They want you to clear these things up. They want you to be happy, right? And your cards become these power tools. So, and then there are just other ways to practice with your cards. If you want to get your hands on your cards every day, you have to find other creative ways. And we've talked about that in other formats. So let's see where we're at. Is anybody joining on the Zoom so we can, I'd love to do a live reading for somebody if you want one, to jump in on the Zoom. That would be great. Otherwise, we'll be creative and maybe we'll try some sample readings. We'll just make up questions and we'll work with that. That's another way to practice with your cards. Just make up questions and see what the oracles say. I think there are beneficent intelligences that are willing to sort of play with you that way to help you learn about your cards. So does anybody have any other questions about anything related to anything spiritual, anything, it doesn't have to be related to this line of conversation that we're already having right now? Anybody want to ask any type of question? Just make conversation that other people might be interested in too. I'll wait a moment and see. Let me think if there's anything else on this topic. You know, I think it's so interesting. Let me pull my Oracle deck out. My full deck, my vintage playing card Oracle deck. I think it's so interesting when you ask a question of the cards that's significant for you and where you've got the attention of the helping intelligences on the other side, that cards within this deck, I can speak for, have this way of being able to be interpreted on multiple levels. So you could have a spread of cards that you could interpret as pertaining to a very physical life interpretation. And you could also interpret it as a much more spiritual perspective. You can also use it to look at events that are going around outside of you with the world at large, you know, on a larger social scale. Any level that you want to apply it to works. This is so interesting. This is why I think it's so wonderful to take an important spread for yourself and kind of quiz yourself as to other arenas where you could interpret those cards, like looking at what's happening in the world, looking at, then draw the circle a little closer, like, okay, what's happening in my world with the people closest to me? And then what's happening inside of me? You know, how am I me, myself? How does this relate to my emotions, my physicality, my personality, my spirituality? Then you can kind of take it even another layer inward and say, how does this relate to me on a very metaphysical level? You know, and it all works. It's so interesting because in truth, it's all not only connected, but one and the same, which you can start to kind of trip out on. I frequently do. Primo quarto, how can I improve my readings? What is my best trait as a reader for others? And what is my weakest point on which I should work on? That is just an excellently phrased question. So typically, I would only address questions that are coming through the Zoom, because I love to connect through the voice and the greater connection on the Zoom. But we can maybe bend a little. I love that question. I love to help you out with that. Andy says, hey, Prima Cordo, once I'm not sure. Oh, Anna, that's me. Once Anna told me that instead of always asking the cards personal questions, pick a film that I like and ask a question as though I have not watched the film. Often I can validate my interpretation of the cards because I know how the movie ends. Yes, 100%. Andy's been working with this for a long time, as I mentioned, and movies are a really great opportunity to open communication with your cards and learn new things about how your cards communicate, whether you've seen the movie before or not. You know, just pull your deck out and ask a question as the movie unfolds? Yeah, thank you so much, Andy, for bringing that up. That is a great suggestion for everybody. Perfect. Let me read Prima Corda's question again here. How can I improve my reading? So Andy's suggestion is really great, and I would second her suggestion. What is my best trait as a reader for others? And what is my weakest point on which I should work on? Well, we can address the oracles for that second part of the question. All right. Let's look at Primo Quarto. Do you want me to ask the oracles for you? Okay. Let's do it. Okay. So what is my best trait as a reader for others? So I just want to clarify, you want me to pull cards for you on this, Primo? Do you want to just give me a yes if that's how you want me to proceed? Because this is a personal question and I want to make sure that you want this shared with the group here. So I'll wait. You know, again, there's a delay here between what I'm doing and the time it appears on YouTube. So I'll just give you a moment to respond. And if so, I'd be happy to check in with the oracles for you. So you can let me know. And in the meantime, I will play with my cards and shuffle. I love the feel of this vintage deck in my hands. It's just a nice size, and I love the paper feeling of it. Yeah, it's like an old friend too, you know, that's probably part of the reason why I love it, because I spent so much time with it. Okay, Prima Quarto has responded. Yes, please. Thank you so much. Okay, so Primo Quarto, I will ask you to go ahead and if you're sitting in a chair, if you can, remove your shoes and put your 2 feet flat on the ground. I'm doing the same here. This is also something that I've been directed to do through spirit. So yeah, just connect your feet into the earth where you are and breathe. So the way I'm going to phrase this question is, what is Primo Quarto Lectura Tarotchi's best trait as a reader for others? And what is the weakest point she should work on? So I think we can ask that all in one question. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and cut in. Awesome. And we're going to draw 4 cards for the present time. So I see that you have a very strong connection to the spirits of the past and the spirit world. Like a mediumship type of energy is what I'm seeing. Super strong, crazy strong. And your willingness to go into the darkness. I see you as a person who's not afraid of the dark. And that other people admire you for that, and that you have a special gift that way. You can be like a guide for people within these realms where spirit is, where darkness is, and help to guide people through those areas.
Maybe just.
And I went ahead and drew a future spread for you that sort of projects out, because, you know, we're always learning and growing through our own practice. So the date that came up for you is July, August, September, October, the end of October, which is Halloween. So of course it's perfect for your question and for the vibe that I'm picking up on this. Like Halloween is a really up time for this question for you. And I see these spirits or this connection that you have in your mind to things that are coming into this world from the past that need resolution, coming in super, super, super strong through the force of the north wind, which is coming in the second position. Hold on, I'm just trying to, yeah. And then in the present time, they're showing it to me like this. So the spirits connected with the Six of Spades, which I think of as kind of a haunted card, are coming through like shouting. And then I have this card in the top position, really highlighting the third eye. Just have a really strong psychic connection. And also the important cards that I'm seeing that need strengthening here, as far as your question goes about.
No, baby. No TV till after 5.
You worded this here. What's your weakest point on which you should work? So make sure that you always hold on to the light as well for people, you know, because you are leading them into these caverns within themselves, or bringing through these spirits that are seeking resolution. It's so important to always keep that torchlight brightly lit, you know, and to keep messages of hope and positivity in people's awareness, and keep that torch sort of strongly fed. And don't forget it when you enter into these realms of darkness. So, you know, let's see. Oh, thanks a lot. So yeah, and make sure that you are, yeah, bringing through messages that connect to people's hearts so that they can take the messages in more deeply and really be more welcoming to these messages of such power that you're bringing through. So is that resonating? Are you feeling that? I'll wait for the delay time and see what Primo Quarto's response back is. But I just see you having this vision within these places that are so, these spirits that just want to come through and need resolution in people's lives. Okay, good. Yeah, you have like a very witchy orientation, whether or not, I don't know if you're expressing that or not, but I love your just willingness to go into these realms that are so unexplored and that people really need to see and to be aware of. And so, yeah, just make sure that you always have an anchor so that people are able to really transform that into something that's empowering and positive for themselves. So, and we have a guest on the Zoom. So let me check in with this. And Galaxy A11, how do you like to be referred to? You can unmute your mic if you like.
Okay. Let's see here.
Let's see, can we get your voice coming in on that?
Hey, Anna, can you hear me?
Oh, let me see. I'm not hearing your voice come through. I wonder why that is.
I pressed my.
I see your mouth moving.
Okay.
I don't know why it's not coming in. Let me see. Do you want to just type into the typing part?
Yes.
Yep. It's great to see your face and it's great to have you on here. I love it. Thanks so much. It's wonderful to connect with people's faces.
Get a type.
We'll wait for her message to show up in the chat. Yeah. Are you typing in the Zoom or on the YouTube?
Zoom.
Yeah, Zoom. Okay, I'm reading your lips.
Okay.
I don't see, let's see. I don't know why I'm not seeing your message on the chat.
Got it. Got it.
Wait, I don't know. I'm not seeing your message in the chat. Oh, there we go. It's Nan. Oh, you go by Nan. Oh, great. Nice to see you. Wonderful. Excellent. So you've been watching the show for a while and your name is Nan on the YouTube that we've been seeing, yeah? Yeah, perfect. Oh, thanks so much for your support. I'm glad you took the leap and jumped into Zoom. Yes. So is there a question you want to ask the oracles? Oh, having difficulty with your dad. Okay. Nan says, please, having difficulty with my dad. Okay. So your question is, oh, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. Oh, sweetie. Oh, is there a question that you want to formulate? Yeah. Oh, okay. Are you doing right by ignoring? By ignoring him? Is that your question? Okay. It's toxic. Okay. Okay. So how to move forward with him? Yes? What's the right thing for you? Okay. We can do that. Thank you for asking this question. Okay. So make sure your feet are flat on the ground then. Ground in. Focus on your breath, honey. Oh, you love him. Yeah, I understand. Oh, yeah. Oh, sweetheart. Okay. Okay, so we're just using the 4-card spread. I'm combining the present time spread with the cat spread. So like we did for the earlier reading, we're looking at now and the future. Okay. Oh. Okay. And your time period is July, August, September, October, November. You're looking at the end of November as a significant time in your question, okay? Wow, okay. So we're getting a lot of one-eyed male cards. Got Tendra. Oh, he loves you so much, sweetheart. Yeah, it's just like the ultimate love. You're gonna bring me to tears. Oh my goodness. And you are holding on to him in your mind as you need to be. So there's this pit bull, bulldog kind of love, like that you're not going to ever let go of. And it's in your own mind. You know you love him. And it's the biggest love possible. It's the biggest love there is. And that is something you will never let go of. Never, 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 never. But in the physical world, you have to be like this really almost like a wind spirit that's able to come and go or able to play a role that feels very detached, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have Lancelot in the foot position. I don't know how familiar you are with this card reading system. Okay, so Lancelot is an air being, and he's a very powerful and important air being. He's the master of the air suit. So he can come and he can go. He can be behind the scenes, even not present within something, but just sort of there supporting somewhere in the background. Doesn't even have to be present, but you're there and he knows it. Yeah.
Yes.
Meanwhile, you hold on to this gigantic love, and you also are connected through a much bigger picture, a much bigger network of support, that so you don't have to be there to know that he's getting the support that he needs through whatever channel that is coming to him. You can work through that bigger window. It doesn't have to be you being present to make sure that he's loved and taken care of. Yes.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And this love, I mean, girl, you got the King of Hearts. Her camera zipped out, but she's still here. You got the King of Hearts in the heart position. So it's super, super beautiful. This big, huge love. And we'll just touch on the future time as well. That's when all these one-eyed male cards come in. So once again, it may be important and necessary to not always have to show all the cards in your hand, and he may be showing you only one side of what's going on as well.
Okay.
This is in the November time period,
Okay.
more specifically.
Okay.
So he may be hiding something or looking like he's better or something, but there's
Yes.
actually always another side to things that isn't
Yes.
being shown. Yes. So you have to
Yes.
know that and accept that about the situation.
Okay.
And it would be very hard to trust in what you're seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
you need to know there's a flip side to things. And so you need to know that so you can take care of yourself as well as support him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And again, I see this, it's interesting. This card, who's the companion to Lancelot, is showing up in the foot position of the future time. So once again, you're in the background. You don't have to be an important part of his daily life
Yes.
or a present part of his daily life. You can be somewhere where, you know, you can take care of yourself and
Yes.
not feed into whatever dynamic is
Thank you.
unhealthy.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. It's so important.
Thank you.
You have to take care of yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. Or you're no good to anybody. And you just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing perfectly. You're doing perfectly because you haven't shut your heart down.
Thank you.
Yeah. Holding your heart open is going to feel, oh, look at that beautiful. Oh, talk about heart energy right here. Yeah, so beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing a great job. Yeah. And you're friends with him above all else.
Mhm.
So the friendship is so important, and you can keep that without having to put yourself in situations that are really bad. So
Yes.
it's his path. He's going to have to figure it out. And I see this hiding game I see, yeah,
Yes.
going on in the future.
Yes.
So you're already onto it. You're already knowing that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing and opening up and allowing yourself to be vulnerable on this show. It's really beautiful.
Thank you.
Where are you? What country are you in? Oh, look at all these beautiful little beings coming on. Oh, what country are you in, Nan? Where are you?
Alaska.
I didn't read that.
Let's see here if I can do
Alaska.
See if something, oh, Alaska. Oh, lovely. Beautiful. Wow. Nice. Well, thank you for coming on. Thank you for jumping on the Zoom, and I hope that helps. And I'm going to show you your card spread so that if you want to work with these cards more, you can. Here was your present time spread. This is that larger window at the top and all the connections that are there supporting, you know, him through different channels. This is you holding on, like that pit bull kind of love. This is the King of Hearts in the heart position, just the biggest possible love ever, you know? And that's so important for him, you know? And here's the Lancelot in the bottom. And then in the future spread, we have this 4-card spread. We have the one-eyed Jack here, Lair, who has got his sort of agenda, his true agenda, really kind of hidden. Yeah, this is the friendship I was talking about, this willingness to detach in your own mind. Here's the one-eyed king in the heart position. So there's another side. There's another side that's not being shown, but that you know is there.
Yes.
Yeah, and then here's you again, just being light as the breeze, coming, going, not making a big deal out of anything. You know, yes, you can trust this larger window and these connections that come to him through all different channels. Oh, look at this little beautiful picture on your shoulder. It looks like an angel. Oh, you have your angelic support there guiding you. You have such strong guidance that you're already following and that's with you to help you through this.
What?
Oh, well, thank you. Oh, your birth card is the Queen of Clubs. Oh, is that in the Robert Camp system, in the Cards of Destiny system?
What's Wyatt's
Or
card?
where did you get? Oh, you're in the club suit because you were born in an air sign? Yes. June 18th. Woohoo! Tomorrow. Awesome. I'm also Queen of Clubs. My birthday was just a few days ago.
Oh.
Yeah, this last weekend. Yeah.
Yes.
I have so many good friends with their birthday right around this little time period. Yeah, beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks
Thank
for
you,
jumping
yeah.
on. And with that, oh, thanks. Happy birthday to you too. Yeah. We'll close the show. And thank you everyone so much for joining. I'll just check in here.
That's a beautiful ring.
Wonderful. Okay, good. So that feels complete to me. Thank you everyone so much who's joined in. And thanks for watching. Be sure to come back next week on Thursday at noon Mountain Time. And maybe we'll have Tree Stoddart on as a guest, or maybe it will be just me. I'm not sure what the format will be. But thanks again, you guys. Have an awesome day. I love you.
Thank you.
Bye.